All right, it looks like our presentation has ended and we've got some people joining in. So with that, I want to thank Dr. Simerjeet Virk for his presentation. We're going to answer some questions from our audience now. Make sure you type your questions into the questions box and press send. We've got one already. But before I get into the questions, don't forget to sign in and out of this presentation. Go to audience chat box, type your first name, last name, and the states for which you're requesting credit. I see some of you guys doing that already. So now I'm going to go to the first question. I think from Philip Brannon at University of Georgia. He's asking you, Simmer, said it's a really cool technology. His concerns, the technology will break down, cost more, and all that. Those are his concerns warranted based on experience when using the new nozzles, et cetera, in the field. Would you like to, there's two ways to answer that. You should answer it verbally, and you can also type an answer. If you see that question at the bottom, you can type one out after you answer it too.
Okay, thanks, Dr. Porter. I guess I'll go ahead and answer verbally first. My answer to that question is, I'm not really sure, like, are we just talking about the nozzles, but in general, if you're talking about all the technology, yes, there are some that are also costly and may need a little bit more maintenance or upkeep throughout the season. But some of the basic technologies like rate controllers or section control or anything like that, now that has a pretty decent lifetime. You know, it's not something that's just gonna stop working. And even if it is, it's pretty easy to fix. Now, when we talk about some of the newer technology, like in the question it says new nozzles, so I guess we're referring to the PWM nozzles here, is there are solenoids on each nozzle. So yes, there is a little bit more, they're more costly than normal nozzles, but you also get a little bit better pressure control, so you can maintain some of the rate and droplet size. But at the same time, yes, there will be more upkeep with those, as we usually say that we need to be checking all the technology and making sure that everything is in working condition before the season. This will be another one of those items that will be added to the list, that before the season starts, and do a really good checkup of all the nozzles. But also concerns about in the season, I believe we'll have to have backups like any other smaller nozzles. You know, need to have 3 or 4 spare nozzles on hand that can be replaced right in the field if something goes wrong.
All right, thanks, Simmer. You got another question down there. And this is from Alan Thornton at North Carolina State University. Are there some general cost comparisons for some of the technology pieces?
I'm trying to think how to best answer this question. Now, general cost comparisons for some of the technology. Now, I'm trying to think if we're talking about rate controllers, like we're already assuming when we're saying technology that the growers already have the GPS and other components on there. So if we're just talking about some of the rate control or section control, we're talking about anywhere from 5 to 10 grand, and that varies by the manufacturer or the company too. Now, once we get to some of the auto boom high PWM nozzles or anything that has to do with the size of the boom, then it's going to vary probably depending on, are we really talking about a 60-foot boom, 90-foot boom, or 120, because that's going to, a 60 and 120, your cost almost going to be double because you're going to equip each nozzle across the boom. I don't have any hard numbers for like the PWM nozzles or anything like that, but like I said, for general technology, it is anywhere between 5 to 10 grand equipping with a rate controller and a section control, and then anything after that is more of depends on the size of the boom.
Thank you. We'll give a couple more minutes for questions. I think we're doing good. So we've got 2 in already. If anybody else has any, like I said, I'll give you another minute or 2. And then that way you can still get to the next presentations if you would like to. They'll probably start around 4, give or take. So. Not see any more questions coming in. With that, I think some of our participants have left too. So I'll say we'll probably wrap it up. So that's all the time we have today. Thank you, Simmer, for your presentation, your time and expertise on this. Thanks for answering those questions. Thanks to all attendees for attending the presentation. Don't forget to sign out for pesticide credits in the audience chat box. All educational presentations and the virtual trade show will be available for you to access until April 30th, 2021. So keep that in mind. You do have the end of April to go watch any of these or any other presentations you may not have seen. So if you need to search for a service or product provider in the trade show, or any of that, you can log on and do it. Again, thank you for your participation, and this concludes the presentation.